So New York City is facing a dilemma in accepting students into the primary school gifted program. And they're asking the question whether these kids are really gifted or they're just well prepared. And there's a way to prepare for these exams. Children spend hours preparing for it, and so when they perform, they're deemed gifted and they get into the program. And so New York wants to know whether these are the best or whether they're truly gifted. And who knows? You know what I think the best way to know this is perhaps at birth, visits to the doctor. If the doctor is interacting with this child and this child is crying or looking away, if when they say clap the hand and indicate that the child should clap his, hers, and he's not doing that, or point your nose and so on and not doing it, those are clues that perhaps this child is not gifted. But then again, children mature later, and so that again might have its disadvantage. But in the British system, there's no gifted program as such that I know of, and in my country especially, there might be. I don't know. I know that there's an exam you write at 11. The latest you can write it is at 11, and if you score high enough, you go to the top schools. One for the girls, one for the boys. They're all boys, all girls school, and it's a 5 and 7 year program. You pass the 5 year, and then you go on 2 more years. When you score high with this, you become the brightest in the country, and you get a scholarship to go to Oxford, London, or Cambridge. There's where attorneys or engineers, medical doctors, dentists, politicians, economists, or top people come from. The rest of us have to go and pick corn or work in the factory and so on. And there aren't opportunities to come again. Like if you missed high school and so forth, rarely you could make it back. Some people go to evening classes and many succeed, but generally it's over. But here in America, in fact, some of us who have had it declared over will come on and score high and go back, and then people want to know, what is this? Are you really qualified? Because they know they were idiots, and they don't see how they could ever become anything. But anyway, and so I think that the best way to do it is over a period of time. But who has the time to do that? And then still, folks are going to say that this child isn't ready, and you have to have some affirmative action for poor kids and other races and so on. Because if you have money and enough social status that you could hire tutoring and so on, your children will perform at a certain level. I recall there was on television this child, and they said that he's the son of a genius. His father was a genius, and so there was artificial insemination, and this mom, single mom, she's trying to get this guy to be a genius also. But the way he's behaving, it looked like he's more brain dead and more mentally ill than ever. He's kind of like own way. He's kind of selfish. He's kind of like overconfident and too proud. He wouldn't even close the door like normal kids. He's closed with his feet, and he's just already behaving like if he's a genius. He might have also gone through this program and into some gifted program. But was his father truly gifted or just prepared? And is he gifted or prepared? I drove for the gifted program in Florida, and I never knew what it took to get into the program. But I would always want to know how these kids ended up. What was the end of their lives? Were they hooked on drugs? Were they in some mental institution, some jailer, some loser? Did they really accomplish anything, invent something, serving nobly, coming up with some revolutionary new concepts and so on, holding truth, etc.? Or is just a way to get into top tier schools and end up with a 6-figure income and live the big life in a gated community and just pushing the regular status quo? I think though that when children are young and you have them playing out in the school and you look how they're behaving, some are very cooperative, some can get along. Even in first year in school, some showing leadership, they're bringing kids together to play games and they're teaching what needs to be done, etc. They're peacemakers, etc. The way they're courteous and kind and helpful to other students and so on. I think these are more indications, and I think to have this gifted program as you could enter it in first year in school, I think it's unfortunate. Maybe all should go to the same elementary type schools, and later on, when you have enough of a track record, look how they perform in school and other things, you could put them maybe in middle school or at 9 or 10 or something like that, and you could put them into a program. But right away like that, you can't be sure, because all these training, etc., might wear off in the first couple of years. So you'll see whether the child really is gifted or not. But then, again, parents are going to be able to bug that system. They're going to keep up the program, keep promising them, keep rewarding them, keep the thing going until they get into the program, and so on. Or have another school where they're going and they're doing the gifted thing right through the same type of thing that they will be trained, tested for, and so on. So that's it. I find that LSAT, for example, and these standardized tests, kids that go through these type of programs usually do well on them, but I've seen many of them ended up having careers and end up doing some dumb stuff that you wondered really if they were. I know some people got perfect score in some of these standardized tests, but in their career they did something dumb and they had to resign and just go away. Others steal the money or did something inappropriate or so on, trying to abuse children or whatever. And so, it remains that the state would want to, its interest to have gifted and talented people to go to its top tier positions and to hold the fort and so on. I wish that this could be a large body of people, because putting the wrong people in positions, you could end up losing your position in the world and end up getting written off like Babylon and Medo-Persia and Greece, because some way, somehow, the citizens got mixed up and ended up doing stuff that ended up causing the republic to go under. And so to maintain your position in the world and even to advance or to get better, it requires, competent, qualified, and profound people. So I guess New York is feeling that this is something that we need to get because we want the best, and you don't have to be rich a lot of times if you're looking for. And these tests really trying to see who has potential, who is really gifted, as it were. And a lot of times they're just getting prepared folks, and that's a problem, because it's just Mickey Mouse. They're just Mickey Mouse and just going through the emotions and so on. And when they get a big education, some of them don't even have the initiative to pursue a job or to recognize that they're being promoted beyond their capacity.